Okay, parents, good afternoon. Welcome everybody to today's UCOP session. Bienvenidos a todos. My name is Rebecca Morales. I am the Executive Director here at Federal and State Programs at UISD, and we're very excited to have you this afternoon to our UCOP for this month, which is STAAR 101. We have our student assessment team with us today, and I will be introducing them shortly. They have a lot of great information for you about STAAR. At this time, though, before we do get started with the presentation, parents, in the chat, we are going to share a Google link for you all to give us some very brief information about you and the schools that your children attend. We will be using this information for our door prizes at the end of the session. So if you can please help us with that, that will be shared right now in the chat. Thank you. We'll just give you a minute or two, and if Ms. Hernandez, you can stop sharing at this time so that our student assessment team can begin preparing their presentation. Una vez más, en el chat van a encontrar un link para que nos den información para darles crédito por haber asistido la junta hoy esta tarde. Y también vamos a dar premios al final de la junta, so por favor llenen esa información. We are putting that link in the chat once again. So we'll give you a few minutes to do that while our assessment team gets ready for their presentation. We're very excited about today's attendance, parents. Estamos bien contentos. Hay muchos papás aquí con nosotros. Ya estamos casi a 300. We have almost 300 parents in attendance today. We're very happy about that. Thank you for taking the time to join us. As I said, our student assessment team has worked very hard to prepare this information for you. So thank you once again.
Yeah. Ms. Morales, whenever.
Yes, we'll just give them one more minute.
Ready. Sure.
Yes, one more minute, and I'll go ahead and introduce the team. Ms. Casanova, thank you.
Oh.
Mande. Sí.
Okay, parents, we're going to go ahead and get started at this time. Again, please fill out the information on the Google form that we're sharing in the link so that we can give everyone credit for being here today, and we can include you in the door prizes at the end of the presentation. So at this time, I want to welcome our student assessment team. They will be presenting the information to you all this afternoon. We have our Director of Student Assessment, Ms. Christina Casanova.
Hello, everybody.
We have some of our coordinators with us here today, Ms. Isela Gerald, Ms. Jeanette Fernandez, and Ms. Edna Valle. So once again, this is our student assessment team here at UISD, and without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it along to them. And know that we will be sharing the presentation in Spanish. Papás, vamos a compartir en el chat la presentación en español también, por si acaso necesitan la información en español. Thank you, Ms. Casanova. Go ahead. Thank you.
Yes. Good afternoon, parents. I know that many of you have questions on STAAR, and I'm hoping that within this session, we can answer your questions. So let me get started. Okay. Where is this going? The first assessment, and it is going underway, is TELPAS, the Texas English Language Proficiency Assessment System. And TELPAS, the students, in order for them to be assessed, your children will have to go on campus. That is the only way that TELPAS can be assessed. And I know that many of your children are at home learning remotely. But unfortunately, TEA, the only way for this assessment is for them to come in face to face. So I know that some students, some campuses have already started. Telpas opened on Monday. So you may have been asked to bring in your children along with their Chromebooks. So your children would have to bring in their Chromebook with the extension cord, and they will give them breakfast and lunch. I want to assure you, and throughout the presentation, we're going to talk about the campus protocols. And I know that COVID is still on everybody's radar. We're very concerned with COVID, but what are we doing in order to keep our children, our faculty and staff safe? So TELPAS is a TA developed requirement by the federal government, and it does assess the language, how proficient is your child in English. And here is the information on TELPAS in Spanish. So they are being assessed in the listening domain, in the speaking domain, as well as in the reading domain. I know that I've got three children actually, in school. So many are asking whether they are English language student or not. They may be participating in writing samples, okay? Now this is classwork. So parents, I encourage you to make sure that your children are writing the best that they can so that they can submit to their teachers. And this is just an assessment wanting to know how far they have progressed in English, because many children, their predominant language is Spanish at home. And that's fine. And we just want to know, okay, how are they progressing into the English language? So if you are asked, because you will be asked for your children to come onto campus to either be assessed with TELPAS and or STAAR. If you have a child in grades 3 through 8 and in high school, they may be asked to come into campus. So what do I do if my child or someone in my household has COVID or is experiencing COVID symptoms? And we've seen all of these symptoms, you know, the coughing, the difficulty breathing, a temperature above 100.3, anything like that, please contact your campus. We need to know, even if it's someone in your household. I know that, you know, I've got 3 kids at home and my husband, and if any of us are experiencing any symptoms, I need to call their campus and let them know if, you know, if it is a symptom of COVID, so that we can document, just to make sure that everyone is okay. Now, when the students are asked to come onto campus, and I know that every campus administration, whether it was probably the principal, you must have viewed a campus video letting you know, okay, they are going to enter from the front, or your child will enter coming in from the cafeteria. So every campus will have multiple entrances, and this is to ensure that they are following the social distancing guidelines. Okay, we don't want everybody entering from the front because, you know, we want less contact with each other. Temperature checks will be conducted at every designated entrance before they enter the campus. Okay, so if they're entering from the front or from the side gym or from the cafeteria, there will be some campus personnel checking temperatures of your child before they come on campus. If you are dropping them off through, you know, in your car, before they even exit the car, they should be checking your child's temperature. We want you to know, parents, that with TELPAS and STAAR, there will not be more than 10 students in a classroom. I realize that maybe your child's classroom, there are 22 students. There will only be 10 students in addition to that one test administrator. And that is so that we can follow the guidelines to make sure that every child is 6 feet or more apart, okay?
You have your bag?
We will make sure that social distancing between students' workspace. I want to let you know, parents, that every child in Telpas and in STAAR, they will have a plexiglass, a shield that will separate them from the others as well as they are taking the assessment. Okay, they will be required to wear their masks at all times. We will also make sure that we have enough hand sanitizer available in every classroom. But if you want to send your child with a hand sanitizer, that will be allowed. Rooms and technology equipment will be sanitized daily. So for example, and I'm going to show you the calendar for STAAR this year, and I'm going to explain how, remember, your child needs to bring in their Chromebook on the day that they are testing, because we want them to use their own Chromebook. That way there is no cross-contamination. You don't have to worry, parent, that whose Chromebook are they using? I'm a little bit nervous. And what if it's not sanitized? Your child will use their own Chromebook. And nurses will be available on every campus, every day of testing. Now, let's talk about the mode of instruction. Parents, Telpas is 100% online. And this year, we're excited to announce that STAAR will be like 100% administered online. And let me tell you why. It's hard to believe, looking at COVID-19, that most of our students have been learning through remote instruction. It's hard to believe it's already been almost 1 year, 11 months. But in order for us to meet the needs of your children, and remember that they have been receiving instruction, and by the time they take STAAR, it's going to be over a year. So in order for us to make sure that they are being assessed in how they are being taught, which is remotely, that's why we were testing STAAR online. Okay, now I want to make it clear, the STAAR assessment will be done on a computer. So your child will bring in their Chromebook, but they have to be on campus in order to test. The Texas Education Agency is not giving the option to remote test at home. So in order for us to make sure that we know where your child is at, that's why it is so important, parents, that your children come onto campus to take the STAAR test. Remember that we will sanitize daily. Children will be wearing masks at all times. So when in April and in May, and we're going to look at the calendar, everything, STAAR test and Telpas test will all be done online. We also want to make sure, it is very important that your children come to test for STAAR, because we want to know, okay, during COVID-19, we realized there might have been some loss of instruction where sometimes the students, in the summer that they are not receiving instruction, they regress a little bit, they go back. So at the very beginning of school in August, we need to see where your children are at and make sure at that new grade level that we're going to take them and we're going to help them with any resources that they need in order for them to be successful in the next grade level. So parents, please be assured we are taking all precautions to keep your children safe while they are coming to test for STAAR and Telpas on the campus. And we have some online benefits. I did talk to you about they're going to bring in their district issued Chromebook. So they will be using their own Chromebook for the assessment. If your child takes 2 or 3 STAAR assessments, they're able to leave their Chromebook on campus and come back the next day. So it's not like they're going to take their Chromebook home and then the next day bring it back and then take it home and bring it back. It will be kept there on campus where they will use their own Chromebook. Minimum contact with others, and this is to prevent cross-contamination. We will also be giving them their supplies, their pencils, and they will be, packed by any personnel that has taken all necessary precautions. They have packed with the mask, so I want you to know that it is safe and sanitized. I've received this question from parents. What if my child is absent for STAAR or the TELPAS assessment? Because I know that many parents are still a little hesitant, worried about bringing in their children. And I understand, I'm a mother of 3. I understand, but I also know how important it is to get results. So we need to make sure that we provide, in order with those STAAR results, we need to make sure that we provide teachers as well as your children with the proper resources to catch up with instruction that may have been lost due to COVID. Okay, throughout the whole state, I understand that we are all very worried because they haven't been on campus the way for a whole year that we normally would have been. So we realize that some instruction has been lost. I know that some parents, you are worried because your children don't want to log on. They don't want to participate in class via the online remote instruction. So we just want to make sure that if your child is absent, we will not have a baseline for them for the following year, which is really important. Parents know that any child that is absent, the campus will call home and will ask a series of questions. Your child missed today. Every campus will have a phone committee, and we just want to know why your child did not attend that day. And being that it is an online assessment, we have a larger window. So they will be calling you multiple times to make sure, hey, bring them in. It is safe. Come on in. And that way we can get a baseline for your child. Will there be bus transportation for my child? Will breakfast and lunch be provided? And the answer is yes to both. So if you need, your child wants to come in, there will be bus transportation provided for your child. And breakfast and lunch will be provided as well. So, the grab and go will also be available every day, but I do want you to know your child will get a hot breakfast meal and a lunch during testing days. So here is the schedule, parents. Notice April, where you see the green right over here. April 13th, it is a Tuesday. That's when, go ahead and if you want to get your phones out and take a picture, I suggest you do that as well. April 13th will be taking the 7th grade writing. So I want you to know that only one grade level will be on campus at a time. Okay, and remember that there will be 10 students for every test administrator. No more than 10 students will be in a classroom. Remember that they will have a plexiglass available to them during the assessment. April 20th, the next Tuesday, we will be administering the 4th grade writing. So going into each grade level, starting with 8th grade at the bottom, we will have 8th graders taking the end of course algebra May 4th on Tuesday. 8th grade science will be May 6th on Thursday. And then we have 8th grade social studies on a Friday, May 7th. And then we have 8th graders coming back on Tuesday, May 11th. May 12th, we will have 5th grade science and 8th grade reading. May 13th, we have 5th grade reading and 7th grade math. On May 14th on Friday, 5th grade math and 7th grade reading. And as you notice, then we have 4th grade. 4th grade reading on Monday, 4th grade math on Tuesday, and 6th grade testing on Tuesday, May 18th, and Wednesday, May 19th. And last but not least, we will have our 3rd graders. These are our babies that have never taken a STAAR as well. At the end of the week, Wednesday and Thursday.
Ms. Casanova.
Again, yes.
I'm so sorry. Can I interrupt for just a second?
Absolutely.
Parents, if we can hold off on the questions until the very end, we have almost 500 parents in this meeting right now. And I know you all have a lot of questions. Sabemos, padres, que tienen muchas preguntas, pero si por favor nos podremos esperar hasta el final de la presentación para hacer sus preguntas. Somos casi 500 personas ahorita en esta junta y en serio que no se alcanzan a leer las preguntas porque son muchas. So we're going to wait until the very end, parents, please. Nos vamos a esperar hasta el final. Por favor, no las pongan en el chat. We will have time for questions at the end. Thank you. I apologize, Ms. Casanova. Thank you so much.
No problem. Parents, what you don't see here are the high school dates. I want to make it clear, this is only our online dates. If you have a high school child like I do, the high school students will test paper and online, whatever, at the high school because it is for graduation requirements. So I want to make that clear. High school will remain as is. They will test paper and online. But we also, parents, need to get ready because by law, in about 2 years, we are going 100% online. So being that what we've been receiving, your children have been receiving remote instruction, it's almost going to be a year. And by the time May, it's going to be a year and 2 months. We need to test them how they've been receiving instruction, which is online. And that is it for me on STAAR with the STAAR dates and the testing room requirements. I know parents, obviously, Ms. Morales came on to say that there are a lot of questions. We are going to do one more presentation and we will stay as long as you need in order for all of your questions to be answered. Ms. Morales, so now we're going to have one of our district testing coordinators, Ms. Isela Gerald, present on resources that parents you have right now to get your children ready and prepared. And I know your teachers are doing an excellent job doing this already. But if you want additional resources or how you can interpret scores, this presentation is so informative for you so that you can go back and see your child's scores. So Ms. Gerald.
Hi, good afternoon, parents. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And as Ms. Casanova said, and I do see a lot of questions, and I started writing them down, but we will get back to them and we'll answer them in the order that was received. And some of them may already have been answered, but as I was trying to write them down, they just kept coming out with over the 400 parents. So there are some that will have probably been answered. If not, then we can go ahead and answer them after this. So we'll stay on and make sure that we get you the information that you need. I know that right now it's kind of just a funny year, and we thought we were going to get out of it with 2020, and it seems like we're still knee deep. So as Ms. Casanova stated, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you all a little bit about how you can help your student be prepared for STAAR. I know that We don't have anything that has happened since 2019, and some of you all have kids that are going to be, I can see a couple of parents. If you can hear me, can you give me a thumbs up? I can see Freddie Torres, I can see Iris too. If you can hear me. Okay, I've got some thumbs up, thank you. Okay, someone said they can't hear, so it may be your microphone. And Mr. Lira or Mrs. Lira, I will answer your question after we're done with this. I see that you did raise your hand. This was a presentation that was given a couple of years ago at the Parent Summit. It's very informative and to help you better prepare your child for STAAR. And for those of you, as I was saying earlier, that perhaps maybe this is going to be the first time your student is going to be testing, it can give you some insightful information, so it doesn't matter if you don't have scores from the past, but you will be able to find resources to help your kiddos. Okay, so I'm going to kind of, in the essence of time, I'm not going to go through everything in depth. I'm going to just mention some of the things, because the last time that we saw this was back in 2019. For those of you that are like me, that's a hoarder, you probably do have those old paper pencil copies, but you can get the information from the website, and I will show you how to get that too. So we're going to talk a little bit about STAAR. I don't want to talk about it all that much, because I know that Ms. Casanova did speak with you all about that. I'm not going to go into depth about how you can understand your child's report card, but I will show it for those of you that have parents that are in 4th grade and up, because you'll have had a prior year's report card. And for those parents that are here that your child has not tested, for example, this is the first time they're in 3rd grade or lower, I'm going to show you how you can get resources to help your child prepare. We'll talk a little bit about how you can do that. We're going to talk for reading, quantile measures for math, and then I'm going to show you the student portal, which is where everything is housed in the state of Texas. It is public. It's not like it's something that only the teachers will have access to. You as a parent, you have access to, and hopefully my iPad will play nice with me, and I'll be able to show you how it looks on a full view without going into a mobile mode. Okay. So who is the STAAR for? And for those of you that your parents that are brand new into the district or brand new with your children going into 3rd grade level, any child that's in 3rd through 8th grade will test reading, math. 4th grade tests, 4th and 7th grade test writing. 5th and 8th grade test science, and then 8th grade alone test social studies. And then when your kiddos go into the high school, there are 5 assessments, and they'll take the assessments when they're enrolled in that course. So what are the courses? English 1, English 2, biology, algebra, and if your kids are in 8th grade and taking algebra, then they take that end of course assessment during their 8th grade year, and US history. Okay, so those are the grades and subjects that the students test. And usually when they test is as follows. Our district is a block schedule district. It's an accelerated block schedule district, which means that our kiddos take and complete a year's course in a semester. And because of that, if your kiddos are in high school and they're enrolled in any of those 5 EOC classes, then during that semester for the first time, and they're going to get credit that first time, then that first time that they're enrolled is when they take the test, which would be in December. For elementary, middle, and the kids that are enrolled after, those kids will take the test in spring. Okay, now as we all know, everything kind of happened after we went on spring break, so we haven't had our kiddos take a test since summer of 2019, with the exception of our high schoolers that took a test for the first time this past December 2020. So it's been a while, and it's trying, but we're going to get it done. Before I continue, just want to let you know we have 459 people present. Can you please make sure that your mics are muted? Okay. The students do test at their campus, and they will continue to test at their campus. As Ms. Casanova said, TEA does not allow our kids to test at home, which is kind of ironic because that's where they've been getting their instruction. However, in order to make sure that the test is valid and reliable, they are telling us that the students must come to the campuses to take these tests, okay? And it says STAAR is designed to measure what students are learning in each of the grade levels and to prepare them for the next grade level. And that is so important this school year because our kids have been home since March of 2020. So in order for us to be able to gauge where your child is so that we can help prepare them for the next school year, this test will help determine what's been going on while they've been learning at home. Now, as the commissioner has already said, we do see that the grade and learning curve has gone down a little bit, and that's to be expected because of what's been going on. But this will help us better understand when our kiddos, they're going to take this test, summer's going to pass, and then hopefully, God willing, they'll be back. Everything will be back to normal the way it is, and kids will go back into school next year. We will have an absolute of what we need to do when we hit the ground running, because it's a lot of catch up that we're going to have to do, and it's possible. Now, it does say that the tests are available online and in paper format, but as Ms. Casanova stated, our kiddos have been doing the online learning at home. So we want to be able to give them the online test and be able to compare apples with apples, not apples with bananas. That's why we're saying that they should test online. Okay. In addition to that, as Ms. Casanova said, TEA, the Texas Education Agency, is phasing out all of the paper tests, and they are going to make it online only. So what to be able to prepare our kids to test in the mode of that's going to be available, especially because, and I did see some parents asking, is it going to count against them? Absolutely not. So we have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Okay. The time limit policies, that's just basically to tell each parent. Each test is designated to be 4 hours, to be able to be completed in 4 hours, except for English 1 and English 2. Those have 5 hours. Now, we do have some kids that need extended time, and those accommodations are available for the students if they're approved. Okay, so I did want to mention that. The testing calendar, I'm not going to go into. I know Ms. Casanova showed you. And I do want parents to understand, yes, there's a window. There are certain subjects that we have to do on a designated day. There is a window for everything else. We are trying to make sure that we keep this test valid so that we don't let so much time pass. That's why we're kind of designating days, and also so that we can make sure that we get the data out back to the state as soon as possible so that we can get very good information with data so that we can start planning right now with the last couple of weeks that are left with school and at the beginning of the school year in August. Now this, I'm going to click on it. I'm hoping that it's going to work. And it did. Oh, no, it didn't. But it's got information about the STAAR test. Now this turns black because I'm mobile. But if you go into the TA website, which when I get into the next section and I'll show you, it does give you information and it allows you to play around. And I do recommend that you play around. And when I end my presentation, I'm going to share this website where everything is available, which is Texas Assessment. And I don't know if you can see it. It's texasassessment.gov. Okay. And this little 10-minute video clip just talks about what STAAR is, why we had it, and what's the purpose of it. Now this right here, and I am going to click on this, hopefully it will open, is the STAAR report card. Yay, it did open. That's weird. This is how everything looks. I'm not going to play it for you all right now, but it does talk about the STAAR report card. And if you want, we can go into my daughter's so that we can take a look at it and basically what it entails. Okay, so for those of you that are parents like me that are hoarders, you do have it and you can go back. And if you don't, that's okay, because I'm going to show you how you can retrieve that without that report card. Okay. So I want to go into the bread and butter. How can we help our kiddos succeed? Now, this is a video, not going to click on it and show you, but it really does talk about how we get the STAAR release test questions, and those are available to anybody. So any parent can go into the TA website and look at those STAAR release test questions. We usually, and I can tell you it's not a deep, dark secret why why teachers don't really mention this. And the reason that we don't is because sometimes teachers use it in class. So the district might use one of the STAAR release test questions on a benchmark. The teachers might use it on a weekly unit test. And the reason why we kind of don't announce this to parents is because if we start using it and then the kids have already seen it and the parents do it at home, then you really don't get a true indication of how your student is performing because they've already seen those test questions. But are they public? Absolutely. The same thing with the tutorials and the practice tests. And your kids already have, if they have the district issued Chromebook, your kids already have this information on it. Look for something that says Test Nav, and when they click on Test Nav, it shows them tutorials of how they can use the online testing platform, and it also gives them practice tests. It will show them what they got wrong, but it does not allow you to get a detailed report, parent, okay? Now, this is the area that I do want you to see. This is the follow the steps for me. This is really important when you see this little guy on the website, and I'll go back into the website in just a second. This is where you can get review STAAR sample questions. Sorry about that. You can get practice tests at home. We do want to mention parents. I know right now, especially, I don't know, this past week was horrible, and it, on top of everything that has already happened, our kids were stressed. Some of them weren't able to log in. I know I didn't have light until Thursday. So most important thing that we know, once everything is going to be coming around the corner, most important thing, we need to make sure our kids are not stressed. So that's why we're talking to you all right now, to make sure that you as parents set the tone so that you don't put that fear in those kids where they get scared going into the classrooms. We want to make sure that they're comfortable and that they're going to be safe and that they're going to try and do their best to take that test. Is it going to count against them? No, but it's going to give us as parents and teachers and community information to help make sure that our kids are back on track and ready to go. Our district was an A district, and I want to mention that we were in the top. We're one of the 25 largest districts in the state of Texas, and we were the only one that has maintained an A. And it wasn't because of anything other than our kids. Our kids have the ability to learn. So we want to make sure that we go back to where we were, and if not better. Now, literacy and Lexile measures, and for those of you that your children are going to be testing on this is the first time they're going to be testing, this is the Lexile Framework. So we already know as parents, reading is the backbone of any subject. And me being a former English teacher, I can't stress that enough. What does the Lexile Framework look like? Well, it helps make better reading choices. It shows a range of where your kids will be able to perform. It can track their progress, and it helps them create their summer reading lists. Okay, so I'm going to go into it so that you can see what it looks like. Now, parents, when you go into this texasassessment.gov, that is the website, you would click on For Families, and I can't show you because I'm on my laptop, but for those of you that you click on For Families. And when you click on For Families, and I do want you to know this is available in English and Spanish, can you see this blue ribbon? The blue ribbon on top will have all of the information that you need. The two sections that I'm going to stress today are going to be the one that we're in right now, which is the literacy and Lexile measures, and then you're going to have the quantile measures and FAQs. Okay? So let's look at this. Oops, sorry about that. And you're going to see. This information is on the report card, and I'll show you when I go in on my daughters in just a second. And it's all connected in the portal. So this is free. This is available to anybody. And if you look at your child's report card, you can see their Lexile measure from 2019. If you do not have a Lexile measure, but you do know, like, well, my child is in kinder, my child is in second, my child is in third, then you can go ahead and here you can select the level that they were in, or here you can select a range. And if you're like me and you have no idea, you can select here and just select a grade. So I'm going to click on first, or you know what, let me click on third. And then you know your child. So you're going to say, well, my child kind of finds school books difficult, or he doesn't like it, or yeah, it's easy for them. Then you can kind of select in the range right here, okay? And then it also gives you a Lexile range of where your child would be if they were in third grade. So a lower end would be 415, a higher end would be 760, So if I go ahead and I'm going to say, my child finds school books difficult, and I click on submit, then it's going to go ahead and it's going to tell me, select your interests of the books that you like to read. Please select one or more interests, and you'll see all of the different subjects. Now, for those of you that have kids like my daughter, she loves sports. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose sports, and I'm going to click submit. And here it will give me 20 results per page, and it gives me different books in that level that may be of interest to my child. And then I can go ahead and I can change whatever I want right here in my Lexile code. I'm going to say, for example, for those of you that have kids that like the Marvel universe or they like the DC comics, then I would go with graphic novels. If you have kids that are beginning readers, then I would choose beginning readers. You, as a parent, can help your child decide how you want them to go to be. You know, for example, I'm not going to give a book that says over 108 pages to my child because she's not going to pay attention. I'm going to have to find something that has very few reading and kind of hide it in the way that we do with that wheat bread that looks white. Okay, so then it gives you a bunch of different information. What I like about this is that we'll even give you the ISBN number. So I can call the library. I'm not sure if they're open, but I can call the library, or I can even call my school and I can tell the librarian, I'm looking for this book. Would I be able to get it? And your librarian will be able to help you get these books to your kiddos. Okay. So I did want to show you that. Now, for those of you that have children that struggle with math, then you know that the quintile measure helps the math with the logic, the understanding, the processing, and anything else that entails that math part. I struggle in this, but that's where my child strives. But if you are like me, that you're a parent and you want to help your child, but you don't know how to help them because you're not strong in math, then this would be your friend. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the, oh, it's not open, but that's okay. I'm going to click right here under Quantile Measures. And then it'll tell you, okay, this is what it does. It will help track the growth. It gets the grade level. It shows you the concepts. And then I have a bunch of different things that I can use just from here. And this is available. It's free to anybody. So I can go to the math home tool, and it gives me different, like if you're struggling with multiplication, you're struggling with addition, it gives you those different subjects. I can do a quantile math. I can do a growth planner. I'm going to go ahead and go to the home tool. Gosh, it's not letting me. Let me see. Let me go to the growth planner. No, this one's not letting me, but I know that from here, it should give me a math at home or a teacher assist. And so here I can start to get the information that I need. So once I start clicking on all of these, for example, oops, let me go back. Let me choose Texas. And I'm going to choose third grade again. It's not letting me. My resource center is down. Oh, I apologize. This is down from the state. Oops, maybe that's why. No, it's not letting me right now. Well, I think the state may be updating this because it is tied to the Common Core, which is all 50 states. But again, if you click on them, right now they're not updated. But if you go through the texasassessment.gov and you click on your quantile measures, you will be able to get information. So for example, this one says, a parent's guide to Quantile Framework for math. It has the relationship between the quantile and STAAR, and then it has a lot of information, and it will take you to outside links such as Khan Academy. It'll take you to mathtool.com. So it does give you all of those as a parent to help you and to better help your child prepare for the math portions. This was working earlier, so I venture to say that they're probably updating them because the links are broken right now. Okay. The last thing I do want to talk about is the student portal overview. And again, if you don't have this information because you're a parent that your child doesn't have any data because this is the first time they're going to test, then you would just go through the way that I showed you before, which is the Lexile and the Quantile. But if you're a parent and you have that student portal form, you have the old report, I'm going to show you how to get in, or you can get in without knowing that. So what are the two ways? When we go back into the texasassessment.gov, you will see two things. You will see this portion right here. Okay. And if you have your access code, it is on your child's report card. So you would just type in the access code and do it. If you don't have your child's access code, you don't know what you did with that report card, you don't remember getting it, you know you got it in the email, but it was like 2 years ago and you trashed everything, that's okay. What you'll go ahead and do is you will come here to where it says find my access code right here. And then it's going to click open something that looks like this. And very important, it says student's first name. It only takes 10 digits. It will allow you to probably print, but it will only count the 10 digits. So if you have a child, Christopher, perfect. If you have a child, his name is Christopher, okay, and you type it, it's going to let you type it, but it's not going to find your child. Why? Because it will only take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It will only take 10 digits, okay? So you need to make sure that you do the 10 digits and it's first name only, all right? You will put your child's social security number or the state assigned number that the school gave you. You'll put the month, day, and year, and you click on go. When you click on go, you have to pay attention because at the top, and I'm going to erase this. Oops. At the top right here, if it was done right, in green, you're going to see something that says something like access code found. And then you'll click go again. So once you have that little green thing that it says something like access found or unique access code found, you click on go again. So you'll click here a second time. Okay, let me go into it so I can show you what it looks like. Because you're also going to be able to get information from there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my daughter's access code only because when I tried to type it, it gives her social security. And if anybody's going to steal it, it's going to be me. So I don't want to put that in there. I'm going to go ahead and put her number.
Welcome to TexasAssessment.gov, where you can learn everything you need to know about your child's performance on the STAAR test. To get
started,
me?
Pull out your... Somebody's not muted. It's me that's not muted. Okay, so the two ways that I showed you, and it will automatically go into the report card. Okay, so this is her report card, and I can see everything that my child has taken since 2012 at Colonel Santos Benavides School. So if you're a parent that has a fifth grade, because the last time they would have taken it was third grade 2 years ago, you can come in here and you can even see how your child has scored. You can click on it and it will give you how your child answered. You can even click further so that you can get information. This isn't letting me because it's old. So let me go into US history. Okay, and it'll show you how she answered. And then I can even go into detailed results. I can go into test questions, and I can go into resources. Let me go into test questions. Let me choose one that has a lot of information. Let's try algebra. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Here are her results. Okay. Then I can even do detailed test results, test questions. Why isn't it letting me? STAAR and how your child answered them is not available. Okay. Resources. And here are all of the resources that are available for them. And that's available for all kids. So let me see if I can get into a lower grade level, just because. Let me try 7th math. Oh, no, it's not letting me because it was such a long time ago. 2016. Okay, let's try. Reading 2017? Yeah, I guess it goes back to 2017 and it won't go back before. So I can go to detailed results. Okay, here we go. And it will tell me how she answered. It will tell me what the correct response was. It will tell me how the state answered that, how the district answered that, how the campus answered that, and then I obviously know how my daughter answered that. And I can even come in here to the reporting category and click on it. And it will give me information about my child. The reason it didn't on the upper grade levels is because there's nothing for her to compare to the following year. Does that make sense, parents? It let me on this because it was 7th grade. It obviously doesn't go past to 2017, but it lets me do it for the following year. It didn't let me for end of course because she's not going to take another end of course test. Like that was it, so it was done. So here it even gives me what the passage was, what the question was, and then it'll even give me what the rationale is. And this is available for all your kiddos. It's public, it's in there, it's posted, it's for you. So if you wanted to know, for example, and remember, grade levels are just kind of built upon, so they're spiraled. So if it doesn't really go past, but my 5th grade, let's say I have a 5th grade, the last time they took it was 2019 in 3rd grade, I can click on this and I can look at it so I can kind of, because remember, it's spiraled. So the questions are kind of the reporting categories, they're just built upon and built upon. So at least it gives me a baseline to be able to prepare my child. Okay. And then again, it does let me go into resources. So here's where I had showed you this little boy where it talks about the Lexiles. It gives me information. It allows me to do that. I can do it in real time, and I can go back and talk to the campus librarian to see if I can get the books, or I can call the Laredo Public Library, or I can go to Amazon and I can order them. I know Amazon and Barnes and Noble, they even have where you can check out the books. They'll ship them to you, and then you ship them back when you're done. So that is available as well. Okay. And again, parents, all of this is on this website, texasassessment.gov. You click on For Families, and everything that you need as you scroll down is going to be there. And I do encourage you to please look at this, because we're transparent. We're not hiding anything. We're not, it's for you. I mean, because it does take a community to raise a child. I'm going to go ahead and stop because I do know that there were, someone just asked, where do I find the access code? On the back of your report card, if you have the report card, on the back of the report card, it's on the bottom, a STAAR report card. And if you don't have that access code, then you would go in here, find my access code. And then you just put the student's first name, the social, and the date of birth. Someone's asking, is it on Tyler? It is on Tyler. But I mean, if you're the parent, you should be able to, because it is FERPA, we have to protect the child. So it's only the parent that can go into the child's. And so this is where you can get it. And then here, let me see, where's my access code? It's at the bottom of the report card. Okay. Now this will take you, this right here, this texasassessment.com. It will take you to the same place, but it's just, now it's called texasassessment.gov.